Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have the 2020 Honda Insight Hybrid and also the 2020 Honda Accord Hybrid. So my question for today's video is, if you have the right amount of money, which hybrid should you pick? Looking at the front fascia here of these vehicles, starting with the actual Honda Insight here, I actually like this platinum white exterior color. You also have this chrome bar here with some black accents. You also have these multi-reflector LED headlights here with an LED daytime running light. Unfortunately, Honda doesn't offer LED fog lights here on the actual Insight. So you have to basically go for the actual Accord here. You also have Honda sensoring, which is standard here. So I have it over here, which is the radar sensoring, which is for the adaptive cruise control, also for stop and go, and also with emergency braking. So Honda made the Insight very safe with modern technology. Taking a look here at the 2020 Honda Accord, you also have multi-reflector LED headlights here with an LED daytime running light. But unfortunately, you only get an incandescent automatic high beam. But at least you get actual fog lights to your lower part of your bumper. I actually like the silver exterior color with the chrome and black accents. If you guys didn't know, I think the Honda Accord is one of the most sleekest mid-sized vehicles you can get on the actual market. Don't get me wrong, the actual Insight looks very sleek and modern as well, but I would prefer getting the actual Honda Accord with the actual exterior design. But overall, we're going to take a look at the side profile of these two vehicles. Looking at the side portion of these vehicles, starting with the actual Honda Accord here, starting with these wheels. These are a 17 multi-spoke wheel design. I actually like the silver and gray finish. These are Michelin tires, so they're actually good tires on the market. The tire setup here is a 225/50 tire, like I mentioned, actually Michelin tires. So they're pretty good tires on the market. You also have the subtle hybrid badge to let you know that this is the actual hybrid trim. My Tesla also has a sunroof. Honda doesn't actually offer a panoramic sunroof just yet. Maybe for the next generation Accord. Your wheelbase is 111.4 with overall length of 192.2. Compared to that, let's talk about the actual Honda Insight here. Starting with the Insight, these are the same tires, which are the Michelin tires. These are a 215/55 16-inch rim. Actually like the alloy finisher with the wind turbine look here. But the Honda Accord offers a bigger rim setup and also a bigger tire. Same thing, you also have the subtle hybrid badge that Honda gives you. My Tesla doesn't actually have a sunroof or a panel sunroof, but your wheelbase is 106.3 with the overall length of 183.1. So the actual Honda Accord is way bigger compared to the actual Honda Insight. But we're going to take a look at the rear of both the Insight and the Honda Accord. At the rear of both the Honda Accord and the Honda Insight, starting with the Insight here, you also have an LED combination with an incandescent turn signal, with an incandescent reverse light, and also with an incandescent brake light. Your Insight badging, which is here. You also have some plastic cladding. There's no visible exhaust tip. Your reflector is going to be integrated into your bumper. You also have a stand-up backup camera, your Honda emblem, and you get this subtle hybrid badge. But open up the cargo back here. Honda raised the cargo back here at 15.1 cubic feet of space. You also have some underfloor storage here, which gives you a fix-a-flat kit. But compared to the Honda Accord, you also have the same setup here, which is a LED combination with an incandescent turn signal, also with an incandescent reverse light, a subtle hybrid badge, a stand-up backup camera with your Honda emblem. I'm surprised Honda didn't put actual LED, full LEDs with the actual Honda Accord. Open up the cargo back here. Kind of opens up just a tad for you compared to the actual Insight, which has to basically manually open it yourself. Honda raised the cargo back here at 16.7 cubic feet of space, and Honda also gives you a fix-a-flat kit, so you have to deal with a spread tire. Walking up to the 2020 Honda Insight Hybrid, as you can see, you also have these little ridges here to lock the door. To unlock the door, Honda does a sensor behind the door. Open up this interior here. My Tesla has the ivory interior, actually like the black accents that you get in here as well. The door panel here is a soft touch ejecting molded plastic. You also have this painted aluminum door handle. You also have your mirror switches here with your window switches here as well. It's only express up, express down for the driver and passenger. I wish Honda would have gave you express up, express down for all 4 windows. Your trunk opener switches here, additional storage and cup holders. My Tesla doesn't have power seats, it's just a manual setup here. But get inside the Insight, closing the door. The door has a nice solid slam. So to fire up the Insight, just put your foot on the brake and press the power button here. As you can see, there's no traditional starter noise. It just uses the electric motor to start up the vehicle here. Your fuel cap opener, which is over here to the left. Your Honda sensing stability control. You also have these look, these regenerative braking paddles here. These are not for a sport mode or anything like that. You also have this half LCD display. As you can see, you can cycle through this half LCD display with this little toggle switch here. Your volume controls, your phone controls are here. Adaptive cruise control, your lane keep assist, also for your pace gap here. So if you're in rush hour traffic, you can set the car how far you want the car to brake from the vehicle in front of you. Your dashboard here is going to be a soft touch ejecting molded plastic. You also have this head unit here, which comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You also have this tiny volume knob here. At least you have some hard touch buttons here, because I think on the Civic you also have touch sensitive buttons, I'm not mistaken. You also have a single zone climate control here, 2 USB ports, a 12 volt here as well. Let me show you guys the actual key fob here of the Insight. As you can see, it's the same traditional key that Honda has been using. You also have remote start. You also have this back portion, which is painted blue to signify that you actually have the hybrid trim here. Additional storage, you probably can rest your phone. My iPhone 11 just it fits just fine. You also have this push button style selective here. Clicking down for reverse. You also have 3 different modes for your views. You can just click it like this. And unfortunately, this doesn't actually have the rear cross traffic alert. You might have to go for the actual touring trim that probably will offer it. Putting the Insight back into park here, you can just click P for park. You also have electronic parking brake, brake hold, an econ mode, a sport mode, and also a EV mode, which you can just drive in pure electric only. This portion here is a soft touch, but it's hard in certain places. Open up your glove box here. It's damped. It's not lined with felt. The seats in here are very comfortable, even though they're the cloth seats. They hold you in place. I could definitely take the Insight on a long road trip. Let's have this center console here. This part here that you can rest your arms in. It does slide forward and back. You also have 2 cup holders in here. Additional storage. One thing about the Insight here, it does have a lot of storage here in the center compartment. Overall, we're going to take a look at the back seat of the Honda Insight. So get into the back seat here of the Honda Insight. Closing the door. Door sounds nice and solid. Materials back here going to be a hard touch plastic. There's no map pockets back here in the rear air vents or no USB charging ports. The floor is kind of flat, but you also have this hump here that does intrude into the actual third passenger. Honda race seat legroom back here at 37.4 inches of legroom, but the Honda Accord offers 40 inches of legroom. So if you need something a little bit bigger for your actual family, I would recommend getting the Honda Accord. Putting this armrest down here, you also have 2 cup holders with a nice portion to rest your elbows. But I actually like the interior of this one because it's that ivory interior. I actually like the cloth inserts. It does feel very soft in certain spots. Walking up to the 2020 Honda Accord Hybrid, as you can see, same thing on the Honda Insight. You also have these 3 little ridges here you can rest your finger on. And to open up the door, Honda does a sensor behind the door. Open up this interior. My tester has this like beige interior with the gray and black accents. Starting with the door panel here is a soft touch ejected molded plastic, some fake wood trim, a brushed aluminum door handle here. You also have 2-person memory seats. Your mirror and window controls are here. It is express up, express down for the driver and passenger. The same thing in the Honda Insight. You also have your trunk release button here with additional storage. But you also have 8-way driver power adjustable seating with lumbar support. But get inside the Honda Accord here, closing the door. The door sounds nice and solid. It does sound better than the Honda Insight. As you can see, you're greeted with this chime here. So to start up the Accord, just put your foot on the brake and press the power button here. As you can see, same setup in the Insight. As you can see, the car doesn't have a combustion noise. It just uses the electric motors to start up everything. Down here, you also have your dimmer switches here. As you can see, the cluster is completely lit up. As you can see, it does dim the lighting here as well. You also have a half LCD display, also with your speedo here. Same thing in the Insight here as well. You also have this rotary dial. You can cycle through different functions. You can put on your fuel economy to see what range you have, also range and fuel, etc. Your Honda sensing, which is here in stability control. You also have regenerative braking here as well. Your volume controls, your voice commands, also adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, and also for your collision warning. You can set how far you would like it to go as well. You also have 3-level heated seats. I'm surprised Honda didn't give you cool seats. You probably have to go for a different trim if Honda offers cool seats. I want you guys to comment down below if Honda actually offer cool seats in their vehicles, because in the Insight it didn't have heated or cool seats. The other part of your dashboard is a soft touch ejected molded plastic. You also have this head unit. I wish when Honda update the the Insight and the Civic in the near future. I think they should give those two vehicles the head unit that they use for the actual Honda Accord. You also have these big volume and tuning knobs. Clicking here for a power meter, it does tell you or showing where everything is being put, or if it's being powered through electric motors or it's been put through the gas. So you can see I have 225 miles of range left with gas. As you can see, I'm not currently driving, so it's not telling me anything about the MPG and so forth. You also have these big knobs here for your dual climate control. As you can see, like I mentioned, you also have 3 level heated seats. I wish Honda will offer cool seats on their hybrid trim models. But putting the Accord into reverse, as you can see, you also have 3 different modes with trajectory, also with distance markers. Click it like this to see different modes. And my tester here also has rear cross traffic alert. You can see you can turn it on and off. It does notify you when there's a car approaching your blind side or when you're basically backing up and not paying attention. Putting the Accord back into park. You also have an EV mode. An Econ mode, sport mode, and also have an EV mode, electronic parking brake, brake hold, 2 cup holders. Your center console here is nice and padded. You also have a USB port in here with a 12 volt as well. But I prefer the storage from the actual Insight because it does give you a little bit more compared to the actual Accord here. My Tesla also has a sunroof. When Honda refresh the Accord in the near future, maybe in 2021 or 2022, I think they should offer a panoramic sunroof and maybe all-wheel drive, if anything. You also have more of that thick wood trim. Your glove box is damp, it's not lined with felt. It's a pretty decent sized glove box, but the Insight does have a bigger glove box compared to the Honda Accord. But overall, the materials in here are very nice. This cab is very roomy compared to the Insight, but we're going to take a look at the back seat of the Honda Accord. So getting to the back seat of the 2020 Honda Accord, closing the door. Door sounds nice and solid. The materials back here are going to be hard touch plastic. You get more of that fake wood like I mentioned in the front. 2 map pockets here, rear air vents. There's no USB charging ports back here. The floor is nice and flat, but this hump here does intrude into the actual third seating here for the third passenger. But you can definitely fit 3 people across. Honda racy legroom back here at 40 inches of legroom. Pulling this armrest down here, you also have 2 cup holders with a nice portion to rest your elbows. The hood's open here for the Honda Insight and also for the Honda Accord. So let's see what powers both of these hybrid powertrains. So start off with the Honda Accord here. This has a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It makes 212 horsepower. It's also paired with a eCVT transmission, as this one sits and weighs 3,315 pounds. Fuel economy numbers are rated at 48 in the city, 47 on the highway, and 48 combined. So this actually gets better MPG compared to the actual gas powered Honda Accord. But remember the fuel economy numbers that I just mentioned for the Honda Accord here, because we're going to talk about the actual MPG that you get for the Honda Insight. This has a 1.5 liter 4-cylinder. It makes 151 horsepower. It's also paired with a special eCVT transmission, just how it is in the actual Honda Accord here. As this one sits, it weighs 2,987 pounds. So the Honda Accord is way heavier compared to the Honda Insight. Fuel economy numbers are rated at 55 in the city, 49 on the highway, and 52 combined. So yeah, if you were looking for something that gets over 50 mpg, I would recommend definitely putting the Honda Insight on your list here. Don't get me wrong, the Honda Accord here makes a good MPG as well, but overall we're going to take both of these vehicles out and see how they actually perform. So starting off in the 2020 Honda Insight, this vehicle rides on the same platform as the Honda Civic, which is the 10th generation. So this car is more sleeker, it looks more lower to the ground. Basically, I wouldn't purchase this car because I find the Civic to be a smaller car, and I wouldn't recommend this for a family of 4 or 5 if they're average sized kids. Or if they're like small kids, then yes, it would be a perfect car for a family that basically has a smaller family. But if you're looking for, if you have a family with older kids, I would think getting the Honda Accord would be a better solution. But the Insight here is very quiet. The EPA rates the fuel economy numbers at 55 in the city, 49 on the highway, and 52 combined. So if you're looking for a car that gets 50 mpg, I think you should definitely put the Honda Insight on your list. But I'm going to put it in EV mode only if it has enough charge, and it does. I'm going to floor it. It did have a lot of low end torque there. As you can see, the engine has kicked in and it makes that buzzy sound. You're not going to really buy this car for the way that it sounds. You're going to buy this car for fuel efficiency, like I mentioned, 55 in the city, 49 on the highway, and 52 combined. That's better MPG than what you get in the Honda Accord hybrid that I talked about, which is 48 in the city, 47 on the highway, and 48 combined. Mind you, those numbers are better. They're actually better than the gas-powered Honda Accord. So if you're looking for something that that's more fuel efficient than the gas-powered one, you should actually put the Honda Accord hybrid on your list as well. Visibility from the inside is very good. You also have Honda lane watch camera here, as you guys can see, but I would prefer getting the blind spot monitoring because a lot of people complain about the actual lane watch camera. I think it's a cool feature that was out 5 years ago because technology has been changing ever since then. So when Honda update the Insight and the Civic for the next generation, I think they should definitely reconsider putting blind spot monitoring in their vehicles instead of the actual lane watch camera. The Insight is not a big car. It's not very roomy compared to the Honda Accord, but it does have a lot of safety features, which is emergency braking, also lane departure warning, also with the adaptive cruise control. So Honda gave this thing a fleet of safety features, so you don't have to worry about paying additional costs to get all the safety features for you and your family. This car comes completely wired up with a bunch of safety technology that Honda offers as standard. Seats in here are very comfortable. Like I mentioned, they're the cloth seats, so compared to the leather seats that you get in the Accord, I actually like these seats a little better, honestly, because they hold you in place. They're not aggressively bolstered. If you want something aggressively bolstered, you have to go for the Honda Type R. And if you're looking for something a little bit more sporty, the Type R would be a better solution as well. Putting the Insight into sport mode here, the throttle did get a little touchier. Yes, I have regenerative braking here as well. These are not paddle shifters. This is regenerative braking. It does hug this corner very tight in sport mode, but the suspension feel in here is very good. It's very soft. Steering feel is loose. It's very playful, but the car does stay relatively. It does stay very planted. Like I mentioned with the lane watch camera, you don't get it on the driver's side. You only get it on the passenger side. And when you put your foot down here, yeah, as you can hear, like I mentioned, you didn't buy this car for the way it sounds, because that roaring noise sounds so futuristic and it sounds so weird, honestly, because it doesn't sound it doesn't sound pleasant to my ears. Basically, it sounds like a loud, like sound. It sounds very weird, honestly. But like I mentioned, you didn't buy this car for that. You bought this car to save a lot of gas, take your family on long road trips, and basically save the planet one day at a time with your hybrid vehicle. But yeah, the Insight is a very good performing vehicle. But let's hop into the Honda Accord and see how that stacks up against the Honda Insight. So start off in the 2020 Honda Accord hybrid, putting the Accord into EV mode. As you guys can see, it's dead quiet in here, so it's kind of like a Tesla, honestly. It's very quiet. You don't hear any futuristic noises as well. But if you guys put the foot down a little bit, it deactivates the EV mode and you're gonna go back into a normal mode. But right now I'm in sport mode, and even in sport mode, just driving at a low speed, the Accord is completely quiet in the inside. This thing feels so smooth. The suspension feels good. The chassis is very planted, very stable. Compared to the Honda Insight, the Insight was lower to the ground. The car does ride on the 10th generation platform of the Honda Civic. But overall, the Honda Accord seems to me it rides a little better on the highway. I give it to the Insight. The Insight seems more well-rounded, with that 55 mpg in the city, 49 on the highway, and 52 combined. So those are some pretty good numbers if you're looking for something a little bit more fuel efficiency and a little bit less pricier than the Honda Accord. The Honda Accord can be very pricey, but overall I think the Accord is very refined. This cabin is very roomy. You can fit your family of 5 or whatever the case is. You fit your family in here. The materials in here are very upscale. Oh, I think he broke. I thought he was trying to turn. My bad. He broke down. Wow, he broke down right there. Wow. Damn. But the cabin in here is very quiet. And clicking my signal over here to the right, as you guys can see, there's no Honda lane watch camera in here, which a lot of people didn't like. But back then the technology was different, so that was kind of something new for Honda at the time. But I'm glad Honda didn't put the lane watch camera in the Accord. But put my foot down here. This thing has a lot of low end torque. Oh, 0 to 60 maybe in the high 7-second range. It should be a little faster compared to the 1.5 model, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're looking for something a little bit more powerful, you can go for the 2.0 with a 10-speed transmission. That makes about a good 252 horsepower. So it's a little faster with the torque compared to the Toyota TRD Pro, which offers that V6. But visibility in here is really good. The A-pillar here is very thin. You also have these big side mirrors with blind spot monitoring. Like I mentioned, you don't get that stupid lane watch camera that Honda offers on the Insight. But if you're looking for a little bit better fuel economy, I would recommend getting the Honda Insight over the Honda Accord. So after spending time with the 2020 Honda Accord Hybrid and the 2020 Honda Insight, the question I asked in the beginning of this video is, if you have the right amount of money, which hybrid you should buy. So let's talk about the actual price of these vehicles. Starting price for the actual Honda Insight here starts off at $24,310. This also has an additional charge, which is the destination fee, which is $955, putting the Insight at $25,265, which is very cheap compared to the actual Honda Accord here. The starting price for the Honda Accord is $32,020. This also has a destination charge of $955, making the Accord stickers at $32,975. So this is the Honda Accord is more expensive compared to the actual Honda Insight, and the Honda Insight actually gets a little bit better fuel economy, making this thing 55 in the city, making the Honda Accord here at 48 in the city. So if you're looking for a cheaper vehicle and also better fuel economy, I definitely think you should put the actual Honda Insight on your list. So I would like to give a special thanks to the general manager Rick for providing me with both vehicles for today's video. And if you guys want to market for actual Honda Insight and the Honda Accord, you can definitely come to Largo Honda and ask for the general manager Rick. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Driver Reviews, and please keep subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll catch you all in the next video.